And we're back.
And we're back.
And we're back. Shiva's Gula show. Other time ZOOMSHTEIG. Got this hat, but shouldn't take away from the rest of my fit. Down to the Ninja Turtle shoes. All right, just had a wedding tonight. So it's a late one. Jax. Welcome to Sheer. So, wartime ZOOMSHTEIG number 96. This is the 20th week. This is the first year of the 20th week since the Simchas Torah massacre. And again, we're learning for the Siyata D'Shmaya of soldiers trying to free the captives, the Siyata D'Shmaya of the captives to be freed. And the Eibishter should give us Siyata D'Shmaya to see the swift eradication of all of our enemies.
Amen.
All right, we were in the Gra. So I'm gonna read the story just to refresh us. The lines of Gemara, right? We were on Daf Ayin Gimel Amud Aleph. Gemara says like this: Amar Rabba. Oh, Shalom Aleichem Avi Mighty. Oh, Zikri Arizalman is here. Shalom Aleichem, Zikri Arizalman.
It's my beauty sleep hour.
What?
It's my beauty sleep hour.
Beauty sleep. I hear you, but there's nothing more beautiful than steigen some Torah first thing in the morning. So, just to review, Zalman, we're dealing with a lot of we're dealing with like the Gemara of Basra. We're doing the 5th parak of Basra, Hamocher Es Hasfina, talking about selling a boat. And so the Gemara is, the Gemara is very associated. And the Gemara is like, oh, you're talking about boats? Well, Rabba tells us a story. Amar Rabba says, Ishtoi li nechusayama. I spoke to a seafarer, and he was talking to me, and he said this thing to me. He said, Hi Gala de Mitava Lisfina. This wave which is going to sink which wants to sink the boat. Mischaziki tzutzista denora hivrasa beresha. So again, this is very difficult Aramaic here. But the word tzutzisa, we said like maybe it's from like tzitzis. If we had a jastro, that would be nice to look into that. Tzutzisa. Rashi doesn't even say anything about tzutzisa. Well, you want to look up jastro, tzutzisa? Sadi Vav Tzadi Yud Taf Aleph. And so we see, I think it's like we saw by by Adam's Miros, we say Tzitzis Rosho. We talk about Hakadosh Baruch Hu, like he like flips his hair up, kind of Like that's what I can vision is like the top of the wave, but that's not even what it is. Bereisha means before it. Let's see the Rashbam here. He says the Rashbam first he tells us that all of these stories is because of Marav Masach Hashem. He's telling us the story to see how great Hashem is and the creation. Some of these stories are coming to teach us Matan Scharan Shel Tzadikim La'asir Lavos, to tell us like what's going to happen to the Tzadikim. I mean, okay, or is to explain Psukim and Eov, which is right, that speak about huge birds and animals and fish, giant fish. And then he adds this. He says the Rashbam says that everything that a Talmid Chacham speaks we need to steig it. We need to understand what are these stories. So he says the mitava, it has a wave that wants to go and sink the ship. So Islay Bereisha, it says the holy Lifaneh. So before it comes, right? To Tisa de Nora Chaverta Bereisha. Zagdrashi, to Tisa de Nora Chaverta is Eish Levana the Malach Maziku. So it's a white light, it's a white fire, and so he says over here it's a damaging angel. What is this? What is Jasper saying? Jasper Jackpot? Do they quote our Gemara? Oh, Bava 73, Jasper Jackpot. So it's this white fire, and it says that it's a malach mazik, it's a damaging angel. So we were thinking, is that a demon? But when we saw the Gra seemed to say that it's the malach hamaves, that it's not just like some random demon, but it's actually the malach hamaves, the angel of death, Satan, the Yetzer Hara, same yid, same guy, same angel. So they hit him with an alvasa, right? You say, what do? You smack him with a stick. Then the stick has written in the stick, Eya Asher Eya, which is the name of Hashem. Ya Adonai Tzva'is, which is 3 more names of Hashem. Amen, Amen, Selah. Right? Amen, Amen, Selah, and then it would stop in Nayach Mizafo. The wave chills out. Okay, so now the Gra was explaining that Olam Hazeh is a yam, is an ocean, and the body, the guf, is called a ship. And he says that because only with the ship of the body can the neshama, the intellect, the brain, exist in this world. Right? How could it be in this world? Doesn't have physical vessel. So just like a human cannot live in the water unless he's in a boat, but the human is driving the boat in the water, so too the neshama could not be in this world, in Olam Hazeh, unless it had a boat or a body. Boat, body, TD. Okay, so we're in the middle of the Gra. The Gra says like this. He says like this. He says, because that gorem lanu. So someone who goes into the water, your day yam, is someone who's obsessed with physicality, right? And we know that the physical can be like a wave and like can take us down, you know. So he says, because that gorem lanu, the shibud malchiyas, that saras, like it says in Gemara Brachos and Yud Zayin, that Rabbi Alexandri says, Basra Tzlose, after I daven, Ribono, he said like this, he said, Ribon Kol Almin, Master of the world, Galoi v'yadua lefanecha, it's known and it's revealed in front of you. We want to do avodas Hashem, right? But sometimes we're not able to. Sometimes we're not able to do avodas Hashem like we want. Why? Umina akev, who stops us? After Rabbi Alexandri would daven, he would say this line. Some people still say it. Who stops us from doing Ratzon Hashem that we obviously want to do? We want to do. You know Hashem, we want to do your Ratzon. Who stops us? It says the Gemara 2 things. 1, Sher Shabi Isa, which is the yeast in the dough, which might be like a reference to the Yetzer Hara, and also the Shibud Malchias, obviously the satanic pedophiles that are Oved Avodah Zarah that are still around to this day. The Vatican, the Aldo Brandinis and the Medicis, etc. Okay. So what's the Perush? Kilule Shibud Malchias. If there wasn't the Shibud, by the way, Dad, I did not know when I started learning about Basra that the Gra and the first shtickle was going to start talking about the Shibud. Sometimes when I talk Torah with my dad and I bring up the Shibud, he says, "No, I want Torah. Torah right here is the gain. The gain. The gain. Gra, I'm only going." Okay, so he says, if it wasn't the Shibud Malchus, if it wasn't the Shibud, then we would never let the yeast make our bread chametz. Hamocher Es Hasfina, like it says in Basra, vayatzu es habatzak matzos. Ki gorshu mi Mizrayim. We left Mizrayim. We didn't need to have source of yeast. We didn't need to have yeast. Very, very cryptic statements over here by the Gra. L'chein, therefore, v'lachein apu matzah. Therefore, they made matzah. And he says the Baal Shin Aleph talks about this in his Parish to the Haggadah. I don't know who that is, the Baal Shin Aleph. Dad, do you know who that is? Baal Shin Aleph. I don't know. Baal Shem Oh, maybe. I don't know. You want to give it a quick Google? Rosh Tevo Shin Aleph. But anyways, the Gullah
is it Shame Omram?
Shem Omro, the Baal Shem Omro. I don't know, but it's something. It could be Shin Aleph Shem Omro, but like my dad says, what does that mean? And I couldn't answer. I don't know. But
I don't know.
But I hear it. We don't know. Baal Shmuel Aleph. I don't know. It's definitely not that though. Right? And in Gullahs, the two things come back in Gullahs. We have the Shibud Malchis and we have the Seor Sheba Isa. Hamocher Es Hasfina, like it says in Hosea, Parak Yud, Malosh Batzek Ad Chamsaso, right? They kneaded the bread until it became chametz. The Gam Shibud Malchis. So the source of Isa comes back in Gullahs, like we saw in that pasuk in Hosea, and also the Shibud Malchis comes back, like we see in life. The Yesh Lanu Al Zesh Av Tachos. We have two guarantees from the Eibishter from this thing. Aleph, one. Sha'af Gullahs Yatzil Osanu. Sha'af Begullahs Yatzil Osanu Mikol Tzara. Even though we go into Gullahs, and going to save us from every difficulty, every danger. Hamocher Es Hasfina, Va'av Gam Zos Ba'aretz Oiveim Lo Ma'astim. That even when we're in the land of our enemies, people in America, like for a long time, we thought, America's chill. Why? America is fine. But now we see that they're mamish enemies. We see that the Shibud Malchis, that the UN mamish help Hamas, just like I said they were doing. But now we see it. Now we see it very clear. Oh, Rebbetzin Shalom Aleich. The Rebbetzins here with a sandwich. Oh my God! What nation is Chayil? And a drink. Can I have a drink, please? Here today is sponsored by Holy Jig Tons. What, you think that Slig is not here? I'm gonna ever let anyone else sponsor Sheer rather than holy juice, healthy juice in Jerusalem from Eretz Yisrael. I'm gonna let this poison sponsor Sheer, this absolute sugar poison that the Shibud Malchis is poisoning us with. But nonetheless, I will say a bracha on it. Rebbetzin, watermelon lemonade, great choice. Okay, so the first haftacha that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to give us is that even in Gullahs, the hardest thing, even when we're Eretz Oivim, we're in the land of our enemies. Still, Lo Ma'astim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu was not disgusted with us and is going to save us. And also, this is an unbelievable pasuk. I am with you in the pain, in the danger, right? Hashem is with us. The Shekhinah is with us, right? In over here in Galus, in the difficult, dark nights of Galus, when the Jewish lives are worth less than animal lives to these people, and it was the same in the Holocaust. They're like, oh, like like be nice to the animals, but gas the Jews. Okay, so HaKadosh Baruch Hu is with us in this tzara, and it seems like how could HaKadosh Baruch Hu be with us in this tzara? HaKadosh Baruch Hu is like some transcendent being. How could he be with us in the tzara? Well, first of all, we're all chelek elavah. Each and every one of us is a part of the Eivishter. So obviously he's with us because he is us. Okay, that's imo anochi batzara. The Hashenis and the by the way, how does HaKadosh Baruch Hu is this whole world, right? The enod movadai leisa sarpanoi minei. Okay, the Hashenis and the second guarantee that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us, he's not gonna leave us in galus. He's never gonna, right? He's never gonna leave us, right? The Hashenis ligalenu min galus. Not only that, he's gonna be with us in galus, but also he's gonna bring us out. He's gonna give us geula. These are two different guarantees that we have from the Eibishter. He's gonna bring us to geula. I have a pen. Anywhere? No, I don't have a pen, but look what I do have, this amazing thing. Amazing necklace. Yeah. Okay, do you have a pen? Pencil? When the Eibishter said, right, because remember, the names of the HaKadosh Baruch Hu that's going to be on this stick that smacks Satan walking before a giant wave that ordinarily would sink a ship. What is that? That's yeah, that's what Hashem, that was the name that by Shiva Mitzrayim that HaKadosh Baruch Hu told us, yeah, I will be with you, I will be as I will be. I will be with you in this shibud. Hashem was talking about our time. Guys, when HaKadosh Baruch Hu was talking, to Moshe, he's like, I will be with you, right? And I will be with you here in the Shibud Mitzrayim. I will also be with you with the Shibud of the UN and the Vatican and the Shibud of Esav. I will be with you then also. HaKadosh Baruch Hu told Moshe about October 7th. Moshe was like, oh, Hashem, you're going to tell me to go tell Am Yisrael. Hey, yeah, I'll be with you in the next Shibud. You're going to tell Am Yisrael about the Vatican, about the UN, about October 7th. They're freaking dying right now from Egypt. We're going to tell them about yeah. Then Hashem says, okay, just tell them is with them. But really, Hashem, when Hashem spoke to Moshe, he was telling Moshe about the Shibud Malchus. He told him about 9/11. He told him about the fake moon landing. He told him about the pandemic. And Moshe was like, wow, I don't know if Am Yisrael could hear that. The second one, so maybe the first is like, I'll be with you with this Shibud, I'll be with the next Shibud. And the sheni that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to bring us to Geula, is going to take us out of this dark night. Yezlanu Mishkon. What's a Mishkon? Oh my God, this is so crazy, by the way. It's crazy that we're doing a gra for the first time, and we're just doing it, and we're just seeing what we can do. We're doing our best, okay? Like, this is wild stuff. But he's saying like this, we have a surety, we have a collateral that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to bring us out of Galus. What's the collateral? Because it says by Amalek, kiyad al case yad, right? That the yad, the hand of Amalek, is on the kisei of Hashem. Now, I wouldn't ordinarily talk about this. We're learning Gra, we're learning very Kabbalistic stuff. We're learning, people think the Gra wasn't into Kabbalah, but they never saw this book, The Gra, the Kabbalah of the Misnagdim is just, the Hasidim have Kabbalah, the Misnagdim have Kabbalah. Misnagdim Kabbalah is obviously much better. We have the Gra. Okay. Game. Okay, so the hand of Amalek is on the case ka. Now we learned in Yecheskel, I mean, yeah, when we were talking about the Rakia, and we were talking about the Rakia is Olam HaYetzira. We're in Olam HaAsiyah. The Rakia, the firmament above the flat earth, is, and if you believe in the globe, then you don't believe in Rakia. There's no Rakia on a globe. Okay, but the Naz says that maybe it's not a physical. Okay, blibing, but the Kisei HaKavod that we saw in the end of Parshas Mishpatim, in that right, and that Kisei HaKavod, that's a reference to Olam Habriya. Okay, so that's where they reached to Kisei HaKavod, and then when the Cheskel talks about the guy sitting on the Kisei, that's Atzilus, but I shouldn't even talk about these things right now. The Amar Razal, and so Chazal says, "Ein Hashem Shalem, Ein HaKisei Shalem." So this name of Hashem, which maybe is a reference to Olam Atzilus, but really, there's no way you can't Afka know that, because really in Shem Hashem you have that. Listen to this. The final Yud is Olam HaSiyah. The Vav is the Sheish Kitzavos. It's Zorabin. It's Olam HaYetzira. Right? Chesed first as a Chodeshot. And then the second Hay is feminine, just like the first Hay. And so it's Bina. The first Yud of Hashem's name is Chachma. Whereas Kaser, that's the Kutzol Shel Yud, doesn't even have a representation in this world. Okay. So anyways, the Shem is not Shalem, and the Kisei, which is Bria, is not Shalem. Until he gets out of this awful gullis with with Amalek. The Inyan Hashem. So okay, so what is this Inyan Hashem? That the Shem is not Shalem. So the Gemara Erevin of Yud Ches. This is like the 8th Gemara the Gemara has brought in like one paragraph. This is like blowing my mind. This is the Amar of Elazar Bar Yaakov. Miyom Shechar of Beis HaMikdash. When the Beis HaMikdash was destroyed, Dai be'olamo. After the Beis Hamikdash is destroyed, we don't have the Vav Hey. It's just Yad Hashem al Kes Ka Yud Hey. Right? It's enough for the world. But not the Beis Hamikdash, it's enough for the world to just use 2 Osios Yud Hey. Shenemar Kol Neshama Tahalel Yah. Right? All souls will bless Yah. The Indian Kiso and the Indian of his Kisi. So that's the Indian of the shame. That the shame is not Shalem because it's Yah. It's not Yud Kei Vav Kei. It's just Yud Hey. And the Indian of the kisei of the chair of the kisei kavod, gamgin yadua, it's known. He gedula the Kadosh Baruch Hu malchus, so the greatness of Eibusher and his kingship. Am Yisrael Hu, what's the greatness of a Kadosh Baruch Hu? What's the kisei of a Kadosh Baruch Hu? I might have jumped the gun, start talking about like this deep Kabbalistic concept. I'm sure the girl was referencing, but like Shmuel, bring yourself down. We're just trying to get shot in the Gra right now, and the Gra is saying that Am Yisrael is the Kisei Hashem because we give Hakadosh Baruch Hu Malchus, we give Hakadosh Baruch Hu Gedula, and that's why, by the way, because aim is shivless with Galus, aim Malchus or Shlema. There's no Malchus Shalem. Why are they freaking killing us like a dog on the street? Where would someone do such a thing? What they did to us, to a dog? Not even. I wouldn't even. It's unthinkable, and so. And when we're low in Golas, so the mouth of the Hakadosh Baruch Hu is not Shalem because the Goyim look at Am Yisrael, Dalin Verekin, right? V'lachein, and therefore, Bayam Omru Hashem Yimloch Leolam Ba'ed. Shir Hasayam, they said Hashem will be Hashem Melech, right? When we got out of Mitzrayim, but Shir Hayam, what do we say? Adonai Yimloch Leolam Ba'ed, right? Yud Kei Vav Kei. What? I don't have 2 letters. We have the full name of Hakadosh Baruch Hu because the whole world saw, right? Ki ein melech below tzava. There is no king without an army. The ein nikra Hashem Tzvaos. You don't call him Hashem Tzvaos, right? Which is another name. Ad sheyigal es tzavo b'yimloch aleim. So Hashem Tzvaos is also what is the name that they said on this thing? It says Eyeh Asher Eyeh Yah. So they say Yah twice. That's the Yah. Adonai Tzvaot, right? So it's using when it says Hashem Tzvaot, it's using the full name of Hashem and his legion. Who is Hashem's legion? We thought as the angels. No, it's Am Yisrael, says the Gra. And until Ein Nikra Hashem Tzvaos Ad Sheyigal Es Tzivao, until he takes his army, V'Yimlochem, and is king over us. Kamosha Kazav, like it says in Pasuk. By the way, the Gra is so great. Kamosha Kazav Goalenu Adonai Tzvaos, right? Hashem Goalenu, bring us Geula. We're calling him Hashem Tzvaos. That's who he will be. That's who he is in potential. But he's not. The name of Hashem is not full over here in Galus. And the Shib Malchus is in charge. Ayin Sham Sha'amar, because it says in Yirmiyahu, Go'alam Chazak Adonai Tzvaos Shemo. Again, they use Hashem Tzvaos when it's in a pasuk talking about Gula. The grudges pulls out 2 psukim. The grows a computer, you guys. V'chein ki Adonai Tzvaos melech. And again, it says Hashem. So Hashem Tzvaos talking about when he's a king over us. V'zeu omro, and that's what it says. Umachinan le ba'alva. So that's what it says. And we hit him with the stick that's written on it. Hey, yes, Jerry, yeah, Hashem Tzvaos. Uve'ezes chus. Right, yeah, Hashem Tzvaos. This is yeah twice. Uve'ezes chus anachnu mitzapim kozos. What chus can we even look towards this? Mitzapim, Rivka, is lashon tzfat, to look out. Mitzapot is to look out, and that was what tzfat has always been. Right after the Beis Mikdash was destroyed, there was a renaissance of Yidden in Tzfas, and after the Gerush Sfarad, the French Acquisition, the Arizah and that big Tzfas thing, and then again after the Holocaust, boom, Tzfat again played a huge role, looking always forward. And so, in what schus can we look forward to have this amazing geula? Because all of his auras has to be in our shuffle world. It has to be in the bottom world, in Asiya, right? The Omro, and it says in Sota, another Gemara. I love the Gra. I've not learned enough Gra in my life, but Baruch Hashem, and I've been for 10 years, I've been dreaming about learning the Sefer for you guys. It's unbelievable, and I didn't want to read it before. I was learning Bava Basra, and had a lot of things to learn before Basra. Now we're here. Baruch Hashem, Shechianu, we came out of the Igyanu, Lizman Hazeh. So it says we're in Sota on the last page, and Daf Mem Tez. Amar Rashbag says Rav Shimon Gamliel, Miyom Shekarav Beis HaMikdash, from the days of the Beis Mikdash was destroyed, Ein Lecha Yom Yom. Yom Yom, you don't have a day, Sheklolaso Meruba Mechaver, you don't have a day that its curse is more than his friends than the other day. The Alma Kayim Akedusha Disidra, the Amen Yehesh Mei Rabba. Kedusha Disidra? Is that talking about like saying Kaddish during davening? Like that's what the world is on? Here's the Gemara in Sota and Daf Mem Tes. We saw in Olam Haba, like it says in Shabbos, Kufya Tes. Rivka, mind blowing how this DVJ. Do you see the gain? He's unreal. He's quoting Gemara after Gemara after Gemara. Each one will be beautiful than the next. Amarish Lagish, Kola Ona Amen, Bikol Kocho. Everyone who says Amen with all of his strength, and there's a certain Chasidus in Tzfat, speaking of Tzfat, that they say you're sitting there and you're diving into your Shemona is going a little long, and they get the Kaddish and they say Amen. They scream Amen. Yay! The whole shul, it's wild. Based on this Gemara and Shabbos, Kufiyat says on base. Everyone who says Amen with all of his strength, we open for him Shari Gan Eden. Gan Eden, by the way, Olam HaYitzira, the Rakia. Shenemar, Pizchu Shari, V'yavo Goy Tzadik, Shomer Emunim, right? Pizchu Sharim, open the gates, V'yavo Goy Tzadik, and a nation that is righteous, Tzadikim, Shomer Emunim, that they keep the Emunah, they keep Shomer Amanim, they keep, faith in Hashem. Im Tomar Shomer Amnam, Ella She Omrim Amen. Why does he say Shomer Emunim? Because they're Shomer Amen, the Emunim Lashon Amen. V'omru Kol Omer Amen. That's why we say Amen, Amen, Selavad. The Gra is going through each one. This is like Rav Ilson level. I mean, Rav Ilson dreams to be like Gra level. But this is I've never seen anyone do this except for Rav Ilson. Mom is taking every word of the Gemara and finding other Gemaras with what the source of it, finding what it represents. He goes through every word, every single name of Hashem that says Amen, Amen. He says, oh, that Gemara in Shabbos. Oh, it says Hashem Tzvaos. Oh, this Gemara, these. Oh, it says this Gemara, those Pesukim, this Gemara, that story in Tanakh. So he says, Kol Omer Amen, so he says Amen. Everyone who says Amen, right? Kol Omer Amen, Be'olam Hazeh, Zocha La'olam, the ona le'olam haba shenemar amen ve'amen. Why does he say amen twice? Says the Gra. Well, you think the Gra is gonna see a double amen and just explain to us a single amen? No, says the Gra. The reason it says amen twice is because if you say amen in this world, you're gonna be zeicha to be able to say amen in the next world. V'zeu shomer amunim. This is what Am Yisrael. That's why Am Yisrael is called the guardians of amens. Perush shnei amens. Two amens. Why would it say amunim? Say the shomer amen. They can say amen. What? No. Two amen. Amen in this world. Amen in the next world. Shnei amen. And v'zeu omro kan. Amen. Amen. Sela. That's what it says. Amen. Amen. Sela. Does the Gra tell us about Sela? No. L'chora. He just kind of leaves that Sela. But we also say Amen Amen Sela Va'ed at the end of a siyum. Okay. That was the first shtickle in Bava Basra. An absolutely riveting explanation from the Gra, steeped in Mikoros. So beautiful. And now, Rabbeinu's Yid, now we see the next story, the next Gemara, that maybe the Gra, by the way, the Gra is not on every story. So it could be that this story, we're just going to have a Rashbam. And maybe I'll take a look and see what the Marsha says. And when I say I take a look, I mean, obviously maybe we'll take a look and see the Marsha. But right now, we're in the Gemara. We're in the Gemara. We're in the Rashbam, we're in the Marsha, we're in the game. Some of these Talmidim, they just want to go straight to the game. But not us. Okay. Next story. Very exciting. Amar Rabba. So Rabba says, Ishtoili Nechuzayama, the people going down to the sea were talking to me. Bain Gala Ligala, between each wave plus Mea Parsi. It's 300 parsons. Parsi, I don't know, was that miles? 300 units of farness. Their Ruah, I see my dad going for the phone. He's going to tell us exactly what a parsa is. Their Ruma and its height, the Gala, is plus Mea Parsi. It's also 300 Parsi. It's a huge wave. Zimnacha, the one time, Hava Azlinan Ba'orcha, we were going in the path. Vidalinon Gala ad. Vidalinon Gala. So what is that? The dal lidlot is to draw water with a pail, right? Zalman, are these Gemaras crazy or what? You ever see something like this? How big is a parsa? A mil? 4 mil is a parsa. So 300 parsa is 1,200 mil. How long is a meal?
1 meal is $2,000.
One thing we can say for sure is that it's not high enough to see curvature, because there is no height high enough to see curvature, because you can never see curvature. Okay. Sorry, I just had to, we're talking about really high up. Looking too much. Okay. So sorry for telling you the MS, guys. All right. Vidalinan Gala ad Chazinan. So like something Dalinan, I'm not exactly sure how to translate this word Dalinan. Right? They were going, he says they're going on the path, but obviously they weren't going on the path. They were going in the Safina. There's no path in the water. I was bothered by that. So that's a good thing that the Hagos Etzinim like answer that up for us quickly. The Dalinan Gala, maybe the Gala, the Gal, maybe the Gal, the wave shook them, whatever. Ad de Chazinan be mirviasa de koch vazute. We saw a square house of a small star. I'm so happy that we're talking about stars, by the way. You got to start talking about outer space. What are those stars exactly? Maybe we'll figure some stuff out. Outer space. Archaea. All right. The Havia li Kimizbar Arbain. It was like a Mizbar. Grivi Bizarra. Dechardola. What? There was like something to do with there was mustard somewhere. I don't know. Be'idalinan tfei, and if we sunk, maybe if we sunk more, hava maklinan behevle, we would have hit. We would have been hit with like no air. Like hevel is like not having air. Maybe they like maybe the ship drew them up and they were like in the sky, and like if it was any bigger, then they would have ran out of air. Virami la gala kala lechaverta. So the wave, I don't know, maybe it said a voice, or maybe it was like a small wave and it was less than its friend. I don't know. Chavirti shavakta midi ba'alma delo shatfe. He's like, my friend. So is the wave talking to each other? The waves talking to each other? This is wild, wild stuff. We have to see the Rashbam. Mirza Shem will get shot. But he's saying, my friend, he left nothing in the world that he didn't soak. Denesi Ana, that I'm going to come, Vinavde, and I'm going to lose it. The Nechreve, the Bach says, and I'm going to destroy it. Amarle, so his friend, the waves, so basically the waves are talking to each other, in case you thought that we weren't doing absolutely wild stuff here. So the wave says to his wave friend, maybe, or to the wave is talking. Amarle Puk Chazi, go and see Gevurta de Marech, go see the strength of your master. Talking about Hashem, maybe. De Afilu Malechote Dachla lays to Avar. It says Malechota Kala the lo Avri Shenemar Haozi lo Tirau Nu'um Hashem. Why you're not gonna fear me? Imibne lo Tichilu Asher Samti Chol Gevul Liam Chokulam Velo Yavrenu. All right, was that whole thing a pasuk over here? Zion. Yeah, that whole thing they just read us was a pasuk in Yirmiyahu. Hey, Chav Beis Rivka, can you look in the English in Sefaria and get us a good translation for Jeremiah 5:22? Oh, Harry, Shalom Aleichem. 8 minutes, perfect. 8 minutes. We're learning the most unbelievable Gemaras right now. We're doing the Agaritas of Rav Bar Chana. And so we saw one Agarita and we saw the Gra. This next one doesn't even have a Gra, so we're going to have to... Oh, no. Taka, there is an Agarita. The Gra does talk about this one. We'll see it tomorrow, Amir Hashem. Maybe this is like maybe the Agarita we're gonna be stelling on for this week. This Nikuda, maybe we'll see a Marshal for Zoiche. Maybe we'll see Marshal yesterday of the previous Agarita as well. For now, though, let's just get shot in Marshal as best. In Rashba as best as we can. So that's the story. Rivka, do you want to read that pasuk in Yirmiyahu? 5:22.
Should you not revere me?
Right. Ha'osi lo tira no Hashem. Okay.
Tremble for me.
Okay.
Who set the sand as a boundary to the sea,
As
a limit for all time, not to be transgressed. Though its waves toss, they cannot prevail. Though they roar, they cannot pass it.
They cannot pass the ocean, right? They can't like take over. So this wave, very good. So this wave, so we learned that Olam Hazeh is a Yam. Harry, we're learning the Gra. The Gra says Olam Hazeh is a metaphor for the sea is a metaphor for this world, and the body is a metaphor for a boat. And
This
just
was
like
the
our
commentary
body,
on Sefer Yonah?
no, bro, we're learning this Gemara. This is the commentary on a Garita of the
Oh, I
Gra.
have
He's
a Gra in Sefer
Pirush.
Yonah. He says the same thing.
Yo, he mentions what he says in Sefer Yonah, actually. He says, I already said this, my Biure on Yonah, that this world is called a Yam, and the Guf is an
There we go.
unbelievable
Yeah.
call. Right? And so the only way that the neshama could be in this world is in the boat of the body. And so, dude, the only way we could be, okay, fine. So now, that was the first Agarita. The second Agarita, the second story that we're doing now it seems to say, okay, fine. So we know about the sea, we know about the boat, we know about we know about the shama and the guf and the olam. Now we're gonna add another thing. We're gonna talk about the bank, the river bank, or the sea, right? The sea, the ocean, like the sand. Okay. Says the Gra. Says Rabbi Rakana, I was talking to a seafarer and he told me between each wave was 300 parses, which is like 1,200 mil, which is like 1,000 miles. Okay, and so he says between each wave is 1,000 miles. What does that mean? Mishum de Amar b'samach, because it says close. The Ramale Gala Kala lechavrei. It's derech lashmeinan de mishlosh meos barzi shaminan kolos lechavero. So how we're dealing here with waves talking to each other. It seems they're making sounds to each other, and so it needed to tell us that it's 300 feet between each one because that's how long the
That was
voice.
crazy because I just saw a drush from the Anuka last night. How about like every animal and sound in nature is really just a communication between each other.
Okay, you go. So right, the Sabach Virama Lake Gala Kala the Chaverti. So this is the Gemara that Mom is talking about, that idea, Harry, that you said in the name of the Yanuk. It's the Rechlash Me'inan, the Mishlosh Meos Parsi, Sham Inan Kolos Lechavero. 500 this Parsi, you can hear your friend out. The Roma and its height was also 300 parsas. One time they were going in the ship. The Dalin on Galas, Yoshim Mishur Govo. He's Lamala on the Rakia. Let's go. So one thing we know, if there's a Rakia, then what? Then there's no globe. So this Gemara over here also agrees that there's no globe. And it shoots it up to the Rakia. It shot the by the way, oh my tira. It shot the boat up all the way to the Rakia. Inami, Havla de Rakia, Navish, Ad Mahalach Karov Chamesh Me'oshana. So there's so much between each rakia, right? This is why both people are talking about like this outer space concept. It's just the rakia, but the rakia is not like a glass ceiling, like some people want to say. But the rakia is what everyone thinks. Talking about outer space, so there's like there's a lot of space up there. There's a lot of like makom, right? So the hevla of the rakia, like there's no air. It's 500 amos walk, 500-year walk. Sheesh from the Rakia to the land. Okay, and that actually is a Gemara Chagigan Daf Yud Gimel that we learned back in the day, in pre-DVJ days, if that's even a thing. We're doing that's actually, I met Rivka when we were doing Avodah Zarah at that point, but we were talking about Chagigan. Okay. So Marbise is Shchino, Lamed, Shachvo, Shachno, Tekoch Bazuta. So so they got thrown up on this wave until they saw like the house of a tiny star, you know. Now, modern science will tell us that these stars are all suns and they're all huge, but Torah says no. We have a sun and we have stars. The stars are not sun, not the same thing. That the stars are sun. How could they possibly say such a thing? Such an unproved concept, but that's what they teach kids at the beginning, and that's what they think their whole lives, unless they are zocha to get to the truth. But a star is not. The sun is stars and sun different. It's clear. That's not what they're going to tell us in Magic School Bus, but it's MS, according to the Gemara. So he saw a small star. And he says, so he saw a tiny star. Vahavile kimivzar arba'in gerue bizra.
2 men.
Bizarra dechardala. it seems to be that like it was something about the seed of a mustard. Bizra is biased, the house. Bezera, Arbaim Kor Shel Chardal, the Navish Michel Shar Zrayim. So there was like a lot of mustard. Maglina Me'evle Nizr V'Michon Achova. It could have been so hot. If we got closer, we would have been burned. So stars are hot. Biram Gala. Right, that's when Kolo. It gives his voice. Kilomar Tzak. Tehom El Tehom Kore. It called itself the Tehom. Vishma Malach and Amonim Aleim. Okay, we only have 1 minute left. Today we started the second shtigl in Agadas Bava Varchana, and we still need this ape shot, and the Abishur will give us the Yad Dishmaya. And so he says, Ramale Gala. He gave it so Kilomar Rashi says, obviously Rashi's gonna hit us with a Kilomar. Don't think that they were actually talking to each other, but it made a sound. It's like it yelled, like it says, right? So his friend, the 300 persons back, is like, yo, are you leaving this world?